On this evening's programme, we have stories for you about industrious and innovative people, people with flair and drive. And our first story takes us to the northwest of the country, where a Donegal man with time on his hands because of the recession has come up with a solution to an age-old problem with holy water fonts. Connie Gallagher's invention has been a blessing, if you'll pardon the pun, for his own family and for the many others who like his idea. Eileen Magner has the story.
It's a story of the times we're living in. Work dries up and opportunities are scarce. But for Connie Gallagher, it was a drying up of a spiritual kind which provided the answer to his prayers.
Well, I was manufacturing patio slabs for the last 3-4 years. And then this summer, it all came to a standstill with the downturn, you know. So I was doing nothing then but babysitting and visiting houses and nothing else to do. When I realised, like, you're leaving a house, you put your hand and you or your finger in to press yourself. Most of them were dry. So I said to myself, there must be another way around this. So I started thinking.
It took time, but Connie came up with the solution to dry holy water fonts, inventing a dispenser which, even if it's used by a family every day, only has to be refilled every few months.
The secret is in the bottle that's built into the back of it. It's got a little stainless steel tip on it. But we won't say too much about that.
You're keeping it a secret so no one else does
keep that on yet.
But there's something special about those that makes them keep going for 3 or 4 months before they have to be refilled.
There is. There's no evaporation in the bottle. No matter what heat is in the house, it won't evaporate.
Right.
And then there's no drip either when it's upside down. That was my first prototype. And it started airlocking on me. So I had to scrap that and start again. So I went to my second prototype then. It was more or less the same, but there was a slight difference in it. And that one there worked for me. So after about 2 months I knew it was going to work. So I refilled then. This here was the last one I made then. I had it refilled and I had it dried for about 3 months before it dried up on me. So that was it. It was only a matter then of making a nice frame for it. As my own uncle said to me, he says, I'm going around for 70 years, he says, blessing myself out of dry holy water fonts. At least now when I leave the house I'll be blessed. That was the words he said to me.
15 different saints feature on Connie's dispensers and he's working hard at marketing them.
I had a great friend support me along the way, Michael Duddy from Letterkenny, and he gave me a lot of support. Now, only for him, I would probably be still footering about putting them out locally. But he's put it to the papers, he's helped me a lot. He even went out on the road with me.
So he's been pushing you?
He's pushed me all the way so far.
Himself and myself hit the road for a few days and went round some of the shops in the county and had quite a bit of interest in them. And I think from there now, this is certainly, I think, going to take legs, and hopefully for Connie and his family that it'll work out.
The first shop to stock Connie's holy water dispensers was his local pharmacy in Guidor, where they proved very popular Christmas presents.
And the sales have held up remarkably well, to the point where we would have a number of other pharmacies throughout the northwest, and we're putting it in all of the pharmacies now because the feedback has been so positive and the response has been so good.
What kind of things were people saying to you?
Well, one, they were saying it's a lovely idea, it's something new, it's something different. So on the run into Christmas it was a great gift. But then afterwards, especially the local feedback here, said, well, I went into a house and they had that. I thought, God, that's a great idea. I would like one for myself. So it is genuine word of mouth and organic growth, I suppose, has been the real story here.
He's come up with a very innovative approach, a very innovative solution to what is an age-old problem, I suppose, the drying of the holy water font.
So do you think priests and parishes like yourselves here would support him?
I most certainly support him all right in the work that he does. I think it's wonderful to see in this day and age, someone taking the initiative, a very innovative approach to, as I said, an age-old problem. And just to see him at work in his workshop, to see that it is a labour of love, and that he's invested a lot of time and energy and effort and indeed finance as well. So I think that it's important that people support him in the work that he does, yeah.
There's a lot of work in it. There's about 8-9 stages before they're totally finished. Now you could be talking, to start on one to finish, you could be talking about an hour and a half. It's work. My children help me out, yes. My son is 4 and he's now started to put the bottles in for me. My daughter, she's only 2 and she always hands them to me. She's not happy unless she's handing them. And then my wife also helps out. She does the boxes for me. She spends a couple of hours there putting boxes together and putting the labels on them for me. So it's kind of all family.
It's early days yet, but Connie hopes his invention will take off at home and abroad, generating a new family business for the Gallaghers.
If you'd like one of Connie's holy water dispensers and they're not available in a shop in your locality, well, you can also get them on his website, and that's the address on your screens. Now, in these challenging times, businesses are looking for different ways to attract more customers.